Microsoft Philippines says new data reveal an ongoing shift towards frontier firms built around what it calls intelligence on demand. So how does this upend existing jobs and or create new work? With us now for more is Microsoft Philippines CEO Peter Maquera. Good to see you here, Peter, and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate being here.
Sure. So what is the world of work going to look like? And is the new kind of work going to be created at a faster pace than it destroys it?
I think it's very exciting. I think we don't know exactly how it will end up, but I think usually as when technology disruptions happen, there's a lot of new jobs that are created and some will probably disappear, but hopefully we can upskill those people and to adapt to the new job.
Yeah, upskill is still the operative word there, but I've found two new phrases in my readings of your latest report,
Yes.
and it's frontier firms and digital labor.
Yes.
What are these, and how is it going to change and pivot the whole system, if you will, of labor?
Yeah, I think the big change is before we were talking about co-pilots, where we were amplifying the skills of an individual. And we spent a lot of time talking about removing drudgery and making the person more productive. So the concept of agents now is extending that to the teams that you're a part of, so that you could literally have teams of digital workers extending the work that you do.
So I'm seeing that that extension of work goes far and beyond just workers on the employee side. It also goes up to the C-suite. So if we were to narrow the gap between what C-suite should productively do and what the workers should also correlate with in terms of what needs to be done to make the business productive, how does that narrow the gap to raise productivity?
Yeah, maybe two things. Like for myself at the leadership level, I tend to be concentrated on a lot of knowledge work, like preparing for meetings or learning about a certain product that we're covering. Whereas in the lower levels, at the working level, you might have the HR department, say the recruiting or performance reviews. So those, at that level, there might be 10 people in a particular process. So there's that productivity of the multi-step process. And then at the leadership level, there's the productivity and value-adding work at the leadership level. So I think if you combine those, you can see that you're transforming the new business model of the frontier company.
So how does it work for you, co-pilot? I mean, on any given day in the C-suite?
You know, I'm probably using it, saving me 1 to 2 hours a day. I recently was involved in this energy project. I think I would have taken 4 years to prepare for that before, and now one took me maybe a couple of weeks to do. I was explaining to somebody, oh my gosh, way back in the day when I was younger, I don't know if you'd have to ask your parents maybe, go to the library and look at the product catalog and go through all the aisles, and I'd have to read like 10, 20 books. And then I'd have to, that would take me a really long time.
But it probably took away a lot more assistance in creating that work in your divisions. So presumably there were jobs lost because you used Copilot.
In Microsoft, we're very lean. We're customer zero for a lot of the things that we do. So I would generally do that on my own. So it's really just saved me incredible amounts of time.
Okay, well, what about your customers and clients? I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty, policy uncertainty in the U.S., and a lot are also on a wait and see. CapEx on hold. We don't want to spend where we don't know where it's going. How's that affecting Microsoft then?
Yeah, I think we're not immune because we're so pervasive. I think we have close to 1.8 billion customers. So what happens to everyone, of course, is we're not going to be immune from it. But what I try to tell our customers is, whether it's tariffs or uncertainty, it's fundamentally about resiliency and agility so that you can adapt. So that's what I would say it's become even more important to look at how AI could help you solve problems you couldn't solve before.
So are they listening? Are they putting more money for Microsoft's products and services?
Yeah, I think so. I think relatively speaking, the Microsoft platform, because we're one of the few tech firms that are actually focused on empowering individuals, right? It's not an e-commerce business. It's providing you tools to amplify your capability. So I think we're pretty resilient. Our stock price has, of course, been impacted like the rest of the world, but from a mid to long-term perspective, I think that Microsoft's mission to support everyone is a really positive force.
We have about half a minute. What are the AI jobs out there then? If anyone's listening, what should they go for and learn from?
Yeah, I think the most important ones have to do with the ones where you're seeing the most is really leveraging work around customer service. I think BPO is a huge beneficiary potentially. So that continues to grow strongly despite the uncertainty. I think at the marketing, you see a lot of use cases. Legal, you see a lot of use cases. So the ones that involve a lot of content and going through a lot of information and being smarter really quickly would be the ones that I see the most adoption right now.
And broad adoption is where you want to be, maybe in the next year or two. But thank you so much for updating us along the way. This is the third year, in fact, because the first one is that fear, and right now it's about embracing, or else lose the job. Thank you so much for joining us. Peter Maquera of Microsoft Philippines.